Let's look today at some very special custom pencils produced by Musgrave. Hello everyone. I was contacted recently by a fellow pencil enthusiast about a project in which he was engaged. And in this discussion back and forth, he told me his own story of his love affair with pencils, which is a story I will always 100% of the time listen to. There are very few of us pencil enthusiasts around, and when you bump into one online or otherwise, you get some good conversation that maybe wouldn't be understood by those not so afflicted with the pencil bug. But this gentleman by the name of Jeremy contacted me and had seen a review or something on my channel and reached out to me about a project he was engaged in. More on that in a moment. But he discussed his favorite pencil. He was an architect, I believe retired now. Maybe I misunderstood that. Jeremy, if you happen to see this, maybe you can let me know if I've gotten the facts wrong there. But an architect, and in his work came to love a pencil produced by Berol, the Berol Draughting 314. I have the lights a little different today, so the focus is struggling. Berol Draughting 314, a very simple, round, uncapped pencil. You can probably tell has a slightly larger than average core. And he would use these in his work and for sketching and things of that character, and came to love this pencil. And I'm assuming as an architect probably tried a wide variety of pencils and made an informed decision that this was the type of pencil that he preferred. Berol, of course, no longer making pencils. These two examples, by the way, were sent to me by him when he messaged me about his pencil affliction and his project, and mentioned these pencils. I went through my collection to see if I had any of the Draughting pencil, and I didn't have any of the Berol variety, but I found it earlier when that company was known as Eagle Pencil Company, and I found just one example that I could find at that time of the Draughting pencil, and this has an early eagle emblem there, the eagle clutching the arrows. Difficult to see in this light, I am sure. Maybe I can get a still picture inserted here. But I did find that I've not found one of these intact. And then later on, excuse me, I was able to find that I must have enjoyed the Eagle Draughting pencil without realizing that's what it was, because here in this stub that I've kept with my little pocket notebook for some time, this is well, I don't know if you can see it there. The number 314 is visible. Chemi sealed, that's the clue that tells you you're working with an Eagle or variant pencil. That was their copyrighted name for the process they used to bond the graphite core into the wood so it would not break easily. So anyway, I was familiar enough with the Eagle version of the Draughting pencil that I had chosen one as the permanent accompaniment for this little pocket notebook. I just hadn't realized that's what I had there until he brought it to my attention. But yes, the Eagle Draughting, I just one variety of this that I was able to find. He gave me some information on the history of the Draughting pencil from Eagle to Berol. Then apparently now General's pencil is producing a variety of this, which I guess I have seen. I didn't realize that the lineage carried from Eagle to Berol than to Generals that somehow acquired it. I don't know if Generals is making any other of the Eagle Berol family of pencils or not. That is a subject for another day and another rabbit hole I probably will dive into. But, sorry, I'm making this much longer than it needed to be. Jeremy sent me these two fine, pristine examples of the drafting pencil in 2 iterations. Top one is the older, obviously. This still made by Eagle, but has the kind of Thunderbird looking logo. So a little bit later than the one I found. My guess would be this is the progression. And there may be an earlier variety of this. I'm not certain if this was the first design, but they all have the 314 pi on them. So, somewhat dissatisfied with the current General's production of the drafting pencil, Jeremy says he undertook a project to design his own pencil, which would have the spirit of the drafting pencil that he loved so much, and would reflect his own design preferences, and contacted Musgrave Pencils out of Tennessee to work with him to design a pencil that would meet his specifications. And that is what we are going to be looking at today. This very nicely packaged Sketcher pencil produced by Musgrave according to the design from the imagination and the experience of Jeremy Rear. First of all, just appreciate the packaging here. We have the 4B in a script there. The design is keeping in line with the current design elements as you see on Musgrave products when you order them. This doesn't depart really much from that, other than this isn't a product that they offer that they have designed themselves. This was a custom order by Jeremy, who ordered, my understanding is, a bunch of them. And if you find this to be a pencil that you are interested in owning, I believe you will have an opportunity to do that. A limited number will be coming up available, sold directly by Jeremy, is my understanding, in a hope of recouping some of the, I'm sure, significant costs of having your own pencil designed to your own very specific specifications. But I don't have any details on that at this time. If anything, if I get any more specific details, I'll try to add them in the description at some point on this video. 8 minutes in, and I haven't even opened the pencils of which we are speaking today. In his very thorough email to me, he gave specific instructions for opening the packaging without damaging it, knowing that we pencil lovers can be particular types of people. And he said just unscrewing this, twisting the top off, will suffice to prevent damage to the label. But I want to play it safe. It's such a nice looking packaging. Don't want to do any unnecessary damage to it. So I have not tried this pencil. I saw descriptions of it and was able to determine what it was. I didn't realize there would be this packaging material inside. This is going to roll, so I'm going to have to make use of a eraser to make it stay. So I have not, this is the first time encountering this. Notes on the Sketcher 4B pencil design. Sketcher 4B, custom manufactured for me by Musgrave Pencil Company in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is a tribute to the classic buttery smooth Berol Draughting 314 pencil that I used religiously in architecture school. I sought to produce a pencil similar to the Berol 314 that I could enjoy for years to come in my sketching, pastime, and design work. I conceived a simple cedar woodcase pencil that emulates a close specification to that of Berol's version. Conversely, I opted to forgo Berol's 314's iconic burgundy color and instead celebrated the natural cedar wood color and character with a clear lacquer finish. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of it for you, but I will hold it here so you can freeze and read at will. Got to get to the main event here before this gets too long, but I hate to rush something so wonderful. Okay, so initial thoughts. It is very reminiscent of the Musgrave bugle, which I am a big fan of. But with the bugle houses a graphite that is a standard HB type graphite. I have some Musgraves nearby because I knew I'd want to compare. So in appearance, we have the white lettering. The bugle on top has Musgrave's information on it, as a lot of their pencils do. It's a number 1816. It has the bugle icon on it. It says it's a number 2, and that feels about right when you write with one. I prefer pencils a little bit darker, a little bit softer, but the design elements of the bugle are so wonderful that it's still a favorite of mine, even though it writes a little lighter, a little scratchier than I prefer. In contrast, look at the even more simple. I've described this as the simplest. If you eliminate all the unnecessary stuff on a pencil, you get the bugle. But I guess you can eliminate even further, because look how simple the design is here. Simple and pleasing. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I for one appreciate that. USA in this wonderful script font, USA Sketcher 4B, and nothing else on the pencil at all. Nothing else. Another word of note, I don't believe the bugle is made of cedar. I could be wrong. I probably should reach out to Musgrave, but I don't think it's made of cedar any longer. It's a very nice wood and it sharpens nicely, but I don't think it's cedar. If someone knows that I've made a mistake here, please correct me. Jeremy says the 4B, the Sketcher, is incense cedar. So that is an improvement over the bugle, certainly. And obviously 4B graphite is going to be quite a bit different than the HB that is in the bugle. So you can see the similarities there, and it's similar in idea and in execution to another custom pencil I have reviewed on this channel. This one came to me from Kevin at Always Analog, and it does have the Musgrave information on it. He made these for distribution to visitors to his cavalcade, his vintage showcase. And this is a fine pencil too, made with similar specifications, and has a soft graphite that I think was modeled after the Musgrave News 600, which is a favorite of mine as well. Don't have one of those handy. I should have prepared and had one of those, but I reviewed this in full in another video, so you can find that if you so choose. But similar idea. I'm anxious to try this. We've looked at the beautiful packaging. We read some of the material. Now let's get down to trying out the pencil. I think in his, if I remember right, if I saw that right, he recommends a long point sharpener. So let's follow the designer's recommendations. Need a piece of paper here. We'll use it's an imported sharpener. I hope that doesn't ruin the spirit of the occasion. Don't want to sharpen the wrong end here. It's an Apsara, I believe, long point that I'm using. The shaving reminds one, certainly, of a bugle, but they look enough alike. That's not surprising. And a round pencil always gives you a specific type of rosette that comes off. And it's all holding together pretty nicely. I reach the end here. Let me see. Cedar smell. Nice. Trying to get this out of the way without making a mess. Okay, so we have a point on it. I guess I didn't sharpen it to a razor point, a pin point, but I think that's probably for the best on a pencil that is as soft as this likely is. So we will give it a try and see how this performs. I told Jeremy that I was likely going to be placing an order with Musgrave at some point, because as a member of the American Pencil Collectors Society, it's expected that we will have custom pencils made with our name and member number on them for distribution to other collectors. Anyway, I have to lay this long enough. Let's say this is the this really deserves somebody with better handwriting, and I'm hoping Kevin at Always Analog will also do a review of this pencil, because his handwriting is so much better than mine. It's a soft graphite. It's quite soft. Whoop. So everything about this pencil is American. The designer, the design, the production, all homegrown American pencil, which I can appreciate. It is a very nice writer, and I wonder, I haven't yet touched base with Jeremy about what his, having received the final product, because in our initial conversation, he had not yet received the final product and was describing what he was expecting to receive. So I'm curious how it meets his expectations, whether it's to his liking. Since we opened with this pencil here, the 314 Draughting, let's do a little comparison. I think he and Musgrave have done a pretty good job of maintaining the spirit of the thing. I like the name, Sketcher. I think the tonal qualities are very, very similar. Just trying to get a sense. There's a little bit of a difference in the feedback, which I like a little bit of scratch. So I like that. I like that about the Sketcher. Just a little bit of feedback you get on the paper. Now, I'm not using the preferred paper of Jeremy. He did send me some in the package. There's a few other items of interest that will show up on my channel eventually. Made this really longer than it needed to be, but what a fine pencil, beautiful packaging. I give it an enthusiastic thumbs up. Just a terrific idea. Looks beautiful, writes beautiful. Just shows you what a clever person with a love of an object, right? A pencil, it's a simple object, but you develop a love for a tool, and when you're clever enough to design your own iteration of that, that's a pretty cool thing. And yeah, if these come up for purchase anytime soon, in a limited quantity, and you're a lover of pencils, this is a beauty. It's a really nice one. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for reaching out to me. I love them. I'll probably be keeping one next to me in the pencil cup when I work and go about my day-to-day. I appreciate it. Thanks for thinking of me, sending these my way. Thanks, everyone, for watching, those of you who made it this far. And I hope to see you here again next time.